And joining us now here on the program, pleased to have with us the president and CEO of the Corn Refiners Association, John Bode, is with us here today. John, great to catch up with you again, sir. I hope things are going well for you.
Very well, Jesse. Always
Let's
good to talk with you.
It is always great to talk with you, sir, and I appreciate the time. Let's dive in and talk about a few different topics. And I think a lot of this is going to center around the Farm Bill negotiations and just everything going on with the ag economy and more. I know just recently the seventh annual Feeding the Economy report was released, and I know you could speak on that for us here. Just walk us through a little bit of what that report is and some of the findings that were found in that report, John.
You bet, Jesse. So, 25 food and ag organizations came together. CRA is proud to be one of them to help sponsor this annual report. And it demonstrates the economic importance of agriculture and related industry. And I think it does a great job of showing that American agriculture is the foundation of so much that happens in the American economy. It shows that 20%, so one in every $5 in the U.S. economy is agriculture based, and that we've had very robust growth. So in all 50 states, we had significant growth from the previous year, almost 15% increase in wages over the previous year's report. And, another part of it, Jesse, that I really like to talk about is people think about agriculture and agriculture related jobs. They don't recognize how big agriculture is as the foundation for American manufacturing. We have twice as many people, twice as many Americans are involved in manufacturing agricultural products as automobiles.
Mm-hmm. I think about numbers like that, John, and you bring up a great point. Just how much that agriculture in the U.S. is such a foundation for everything we have going on across this country. It really is. I think of the phrase, "It's the heart and soul of America." I think, John.
It is. And Jesse, another part of it is we are striving to have science and risk-based policies that are efficient, predictable, and transparent. And when we do that, we can accept appropriate uses of new technology. And Jesse, you know so well, technology is what's driving so much of our improvement. My generation, I'm a baby boomer. My generation has seen a 28% reduction in American agricultural lands, but a 400% increase in agricultural productivity and a 1,000% increase in labor productivity in agriculture. And all of that's because we're making appropriate use of technologies.
Well, and thinking about technologies and all of those different numbers, obviously, it lends itself to the importance of getting a farm bill done, a transparent, proper farm bill. We know we're hearing a lot of discussion about the ongoing negotiations surrounding the new farm bill. John, can you get us up to speed? What is some of the latest that you are hearing in DC in regards to the farm bill?
Jesse, I think, what happens with the debt limit is going to be important in determining, how the farm bill unfolds, because you can't do a farm bill until you know how much money there's really going to be, and so that's going to be the big factor. I think it's money is going to be tight. It's going to be very tight in this farm bill, and we need to be sure that to me, the beginning is we need to be sure that American farmers have the appropriate risk management tools, and having a strong crop protection industry system is a fundamental for that. And there's much else. We need to have appropriate approaches to continue conservation efforts, and it's that technology we talked about earlier, Jesse. It's building food security and it's building sustainability. That's how we get better on both fronts. So
Well,
we need policies that facilitate that.
yeah, and I was going to say food security is such an important part there, John, and thinking about those technologies and how they play in. And you mentioned the conservation side and the thoughts about climate smart programs and actions. And I know that's a big part of the discussion, the climate smart position in this farm bill and how that's going to be weaved into things, so to speak, John.
It is. And all of these activities need to recognize what you know so well, Jesse, the amazing diversity of American agriculture, and that, even on a single farm, there are so many different types of soils. They're in a single field. We need to recognize that big one size fits all dictates from Washington, they often don't work so well in the real world.
John, as we look at the ag economy and having it be the foundation and looking at some of those numbers in the Feeding the Economy report, we think the Farm Bill, but we also got to think about trade and how that plays in. How does the current state of the ag economy and U.S. agriculture play into what we're seeing with trade right now with new FTAs? I know we have the Mexican GMO court issue there as well. What's some of the latest you're hearing on the trade front and how that weaves into things, John?
Great point, Jesse. I think it fits into three categories. First of all, we need enforcement of our trade agreements. And I just can't say enough positive things about the work of Secretary Vilsack, Ambassador Tai, and their teams in working for enforcement of the U.S. Mexico Canada agreement, and they are holding firm to ensure that the anti-technology initiatives in Mexico don't play out in a destructive way. And I feel good that in the end, that is going to be resolved satisfactorily, because it's about food security, and it's about food security in Mexico as well. And I think Mexico's leaders are going to take care of food security in Mexico. So I'm very hopeful, but we've got a ways to go on that. We also I appreciate what USTR is doing on IPEF to work for opening markets, even though it's not through trade agreements in the Pacific. And that's such an important economic region, and much can be done. And so I want to commend them for that. I do also feel that it's important that we recognize that not pursuing new free trade agreements is a missed opportunity, and we're blowing it on that. We this it's you go back to the 1970s to find a time when we were not pursuing new free trade agreements, and the rest of the world is moving on out. China and other economic competitors are leaving us in the dust, and it's really hard to play catch up.
I couldn't agree more. John, before we run out of time, any other final thoughts you want to share? Anything you want to reiterate for our listeners here today?
Jesse, I just think that our agriculture bioeconomy also uh, is developing, and it holds so much potential through various kinds of renewables to build jobs, high quality jobs in rural America, and provide new markets for American farmers. And that is another issue to watch for in the Farm Bill. CRA is real proud to be part of a coalition working with other ag groups to help promote the ag bioeconomy.
Well, a lot of things we're watching closely, and we appreciate a few minutes of your time here joining us today. With that, Cord Refiners Association President and CEO John Bode. Thanks so much, John. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, Jesse. Take care.